Hello, Contrarians listeners, watchers, subscribers. Here we are with another Contrarians post-credits. This one is for the sci-fi movie Serenity. I look forward, Alex, to the time when I can stop saying it's not the 2019 Matthew McConaughey Serenity. It's the Joss Whedon Serenity. I think this is the last time I have to make that clarification. That's not to say that you shouldn't watch the Matthew McConaughey Serenity, because that movie is hilarious in a very disastrous kind of way, and we will probably cover it at some point on the show. But this one needed to be taken care of first, because Firefly and Serenity are close to my heart. This is kind of my birthday celebration episode. If you're a patron, you already checked out our little after hours where Alex watched a couple episodes of Firefly, kind of to get up to speed before watching Serenity. Then we watched Serenity, which you've already listened to, hopefully, on the main feed. And now here we are. We're gonna do the post credits. Serenity, 82% certified fresh on Tomatometer, even higher on the popcorn meter. Alex, 91%. A very passionate fan base, and we talk about it on the episode. Since it's fresh, we nitpick it. We criticize every single member of the crew on the episode. It's a lot of fun. And
no
then
sacred cows.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Not even Nathan Fillion. He may be a big deal now. Nobody cancels his shows. Doesn't matter. We take aim in the early 2000s when he was still young and fresh and not invincible. So he was not Captain Hammer yet. Nope. So let's get started, Alex. We are going to do the usual thing we do here in post credits. We're going to give you some extra Rotten Tomatoes quotes. We're going to talk about the trailer. We're going to do the Josh Gad Minute, and we do some trivia. Let's start with the critics' consensus. So it says, snappy dialogue and goofy characters make this wild, wild west soap opera in space fun and adventurous. Why would they make you even think about Will Smith's Wild, Wild West?
And it's not even relevant. It was like 6 years before this.
I mean, I guess, you just talk about the Wild Wild West in general when you're talking about Westerns, but come on, man. They had a really bad movie called Wild Wild West within the decade, within 10 years of this movie being released. Mm. Come up with a better thing. This was AI, for sure. All right. First quote from Aaron Peterson from The Hollywood Outsider. He says, "Thank you, Joss, for creating this world, for seeing it through, and for giving us diehard fans the closure we so desperately needed. You just earned yourself a lifetime pass from geeks everywhere."
Well, hold on.
LOL.
Julio done educated me about a lot of the goings-ons since this movie and the Real Talk, so I know that is not necessarily true.
Yeah, I mean, granted, this was, according to the app, this was 7 years ago, so... Aaron Peterson, I mean, maybe doesn't feel this way anymore, like many other Joss Whedon fans. If you want to know more about it, I mean, we talk about it in the episode, but clearly Joss Whedon, he had a spectacular run as far as success in the business and success with his fan base, and then not so much. No. Around the time that COVID hit. So you can listen to the episode for more. Maybe it will come up again during this video. It's definitely everywhere in the internet because, all we know is what's reported. Next, Tim Brayton from Alternate Ending says, "A lovely example of TV sci-fi doing what it does best, and with an amount of money that no TV sci-fi ever had at its disposal." This made me wonder, Alex. I mean, this is not a mega blockbuster as far as budget.
No.
And as we mentioned in that After Hours, Firefly was not prestige TV. It was a network show. Yeah. Right? So I understand how when you compare the budget that Serenity had versus the budget that Firefly had, or, your average 90s Star Trek show or whatever, it's a lot more. Mm-hmm. But if you compare the Serenity budget with whatever the budget is for, I don't know, a Game of Thrones episode or one of the new Star Trek shows, the last few years, does that still hold? I kind of feel like it might be more expensive to do a TV now, in that scope.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the best of both worlds that TV shows have gotten to a point where the investment is such that, well, now they can. One of the reasons they can compete with movies is not just because the long form storytelling, but also because the production value has been ingrained. Um, I don't know. When was the last time that you watched like one of the big shows? Breaking Bad?
Yeah, probably. What else has been big? I mean, I watched the Bear. I mean, but like,
Oh, Last of Us.
yeah. There you go. Still haven't watched the second season, but yeah.
Me either. Okay, but that's. I mean, that's not sci-fi. That's more of a. But you still have monsters. You have like special effects. Do you think the entire run of like the first season of Last of Us cost more than Serenity, the movie?
Oh yeah, it would have to.
Like Pedro Pascal alone was more expensive than the entire cast of Serenity.
I mean, it's. Let's see if I can find it here. But you would just think, yeah, $100 million. So that's over double what the budget for Serenity was.
Okay. So again, this quote from Tim Brayton, it's kind of a relic back to the days when TV couldn't think of spending as much money as movies did. I'm going to close with Jeffrey Lyles from Lyles Movie Files, who says, after suffering through a summer crammed with TV shows being remade into movies, it's refreshing to see a movie based on a TV show that is so entertaining that it actually makes you want to go and see the show of which the movie was created. Minor spoiler, Alex did not feel that way.
No disrespect. I enjoyed myself with the movie.
Right, but not enough that you'd be like, oh, now I'm going to watch the other 12 episodes of Firefly that I didn't watch.
No, sir.
You're like, I know how it ends. What's the point? Yeah. What is he talking about? What other movies that year were adaptations? 2005. Starsky and Hutch? Is that 2005?
That is 2005. No. That's 2004 because I went on a date to see that movie. It might have been 2005. Now I'm fucking second guessing myself here. Let's see. Well, hold on.
Just running through mediocre adaptations.
Yeah, no, that's fair. 2005. I mean, these weren't television, but there was Sin City, Constantine, and V for Vendetta, which were all graphic novels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rent. That was a film adaptation that came out in 2005.
Well, this dude specifically said TV.
Oh, Brokeback Mountain.
That Bonanza adaptation. Took a lot of liberties.
Let's see. Yeah, it was 2004 that Starsky and Hutch came out, but it was still in the same general time frame.
It hurt so much that it was still.
Dukes of Hazzard was 2005.
Okay, there you go.
Which somehow we haven't yet done that on the podcast.
I mean, why would we? I guess it's fun.
Oh yeah, and like, I don't think it is. I don't think it's good, but some people put it in that category of like worst movies ever made. J. Chandra Sekhar directed it, so.
It could happen. Let us know. Do you want us to tackle the Dukes of Hazzard? Join the Patreon and use your patron power to make us do it. Well, those were the quotes, Alex. Let's do the trailer, and then I have a little bit of show and tell before we move on to the second half. But trailer, Alex, we watched it. Trailer chatter segment. I think that is very effective. I think it made me giddy. It was like, man, they got all like everybody gets to say their cool lines, their big moment. Maybe not every single person in the cast, but
they may not have a line, but everyone in the cast does get like that trailer shot of like one, where it lingers on them just a tick too long, and
yeah.
So all the players are involved here. Really, Joss Whedon laying the groundwork for visionary director Zack Snyder in the sense of
yes,
from the mind of. Explain it. What is Angel? Angel was like a spin-off of Buffy, correct?
Right.
Okay.
So Angel was a cast member from, one of the characters from Buffy. At
Uh-huh.
the end of the third season of Buffy, he takes off. He leaves Sunnydale. Sunnydale moves to, I think, LA and starts his detective company. His private. He's a private investigator in LA. He
Okay.
takes a couple of people from Buffy with him, mainly Charisma Carpenter, which we talked about on the show. She becomes a supporting character in Angel, and that show runs for 5 seasons. So it had, after Buffy ended in season 7, Angel had one more season, and then it ended, and it was really good. I mean, I remember the final season is particularly good because they. Well, I'm not going to talk about Angel, but it goes in a different direction. So they were basically they used the 5th season to tell you, okay, if we get renewed for another season, this is what we're going to be doing, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, I mean that's how you sell it, from the mind that brought you Buffy and Angel. Here's a sci-fi movie. And in the future, he will bring you the first 2 Avengers movies. So enjoy this. Enjoy this before it blows up and becomes mainstream.
Do you remember like when you would have seen? Do you remember like watching this trailer for the first time?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I was pretty excited. I must have. That was back before I was like, I don't want to watch trailers anymore because they spoil too much. So I probably would have watched.
Yeah,
it.
this doesn't spoil jack shit about the movie. All it does is it says like they've got precious cargo on board in the form of what's her name?
River. Which you already knew. That like everything that they show you here is stuff that you knew from the show. Oh, their River is being chased by the government.
If I'm a fan of the show though in 2005 and I see this, I'm thinking of like the primitive Roadrunner days of Ethernet internet too, where you download this, but it still takes a few minutes. It's not like instant like we have now. If I'm a fan of the show though and I'm watching this, I'm pretty excited because it looks like what I know, but with like a much like fancier coat of paint on it, and like they do a good job in the trailer of showing like how modernized the special effects are and like how cool it's gonna look. So yeah, this would have been really if you were into it, it'd be exciting.
Nathan Fillion, they sell him. I mean, we praise him in the episode, and I think that this trailer sells him to you really well as a sci-fi protagonist. Yes. They put in a couple of his quippy lines. He's got the posture, and then it ends with the closest it gets to spoiling something, because it's a great moment in the movie. It's a big surprise is when Chewie sits down. He's like, "I'm unarmed," and then Nathan Fillion is like, "Good," and he shoots him.
Yeah,
and that's how the trailer ends, and that's good. I mean, it's half a spoiler because then the other half would be what happens after he shoots, which is not what you would expect. So that's cool. And I guess I would say, unless I blinked and I missed him, Ron Glass is not in the trailer, which it's almost like fair because he has like 2 scenes in the movie. So he's the only cast member that, was there just for a little bit. He's a priest, the preacher, but yeah, very, very exciting trailer. It honestly made me want to watch the movie again. And I just watched it a couple of weeks ago. So it does the job. I'm sure there are other versions, by the way, because this was the one we watched was version 1 or the first trailer. And I'm sure they had a couple more. And I guess I'll finish by calling out that they they're doing like the from visionary director or whatever. And then it says the show that captured the imaginations of millions of fans. I was like, is it right? Well, millions? Maybe it captured their imaginations, but not their wallets, because the movie, sadly, did not do well. Or at least it didn't do as well as they needed it to.
Yeah, I joke, but the show it averaged about 4 million viewers. So
technically, millions is correct.
Yeah, it's accurate.
Yeah.
And this movie made millions, just not enough millions to warrant a sequel. Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for the trailer. Alex, before we move on to the Josh Gad Minute, I mentioned it on the episode. Well, first of all, there's one thing that I mentioned I didn't get to. I said, hey, I'm going to watch the DVDs to see if the quality, if they're remastered or not, compared to what we watch on Hulu. Because on Hulu, Firefly doesn't look great.
A little rough.
And sadly, I did not have time to pull out the DVDs and test them. So you guys test them and let me know. Let us know if the if Firefly got a decent remastering in physical media. And honestly, if it did, it probably wouldn't be my discs, because what I have is the original DVD set. I'm sure it's been re-released since then. What I do have, and I mentioned it briefly on the episode, is uh, Firefly, the board
God
game.
bless. My God.
I know, it's like, it's a big thing. We are not an unboxing channel, so I wasn't gonna like give you the whole thing, but you do get like a little Firefly ship, and you also, I think this is supposed to be a reverse ship.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then unless somehow this got put with the pieces by accident, here's a little dinosaur, which I think it references, because in the pilot, Wash is playing with dinosaurs the first time we see him.
Mhm.
So I think maybe that's why that's there. But I said it on the episode. So I played this with some friends back in College Station one night, and I was like, "Holy shit, this game is awesome!" So then when I moved to Austin, I think what I did is I bought it for Kelly for like a birthday or for something, right?
Mhm.
And I told her, this game is awesome. We need to play it at some point. And then when we finally got around to playing it, we were just bored. And I was just telling her that as I was like pulling it, I was like, look, I'm gonna take this to the video. And she was like, oh, we should play that. And I'm like, don't you remember hating it when we played? That's why we never played it again. And so she says that it was really late at night, and that's why she couldn't really get into the game, because it was like 11 p.m. or whatever. And unlike me, my wife is not a night owl. So I don't know, Alex. In my near future, there may be another
You might need a
round.
tiebreaker, yeah.
Yeah. See if it was. I remember the way that the game plays was kind of fun, because you had to use fuel cells to move on the board. And so you were kind of limited. You had to be strategic about how you moved, and then you were just basically hitting planets and collecting jobs, and you had to like perform the job. So it was like a day in the life of the
Yeah.
crew of the Firefly. So that was fun. That's what I remember. But it was just something that didn't click that second time we played. So I guess we'll see. We'll keep you updated. Next on the show and tell segment. So I couldn't find the comic book of Serenity that I owned, but just because we talked about Joss Whedon's comic book work, so this is Frey, which is the Buffy adjacent comic. So Buffy is a vampire slayer, and Frey is the name of a slayer in the future. So I want to say, I want to say that Joss Whedon wrote like other comics maybe before this, but this was the first one that I heard of, and I remember buying it just on the strength of it being, it's from the guy that created Buffy, and it's from the Buffy universe. So this is just a collection of 8 issues. It was like just a mini series. The fun thing is this weapon that you can see Frey holding shows up in the final season of Buffy. So he made like a little mini crossover. Yeah. Which, people that have read Frey were like, holy shit, it's the weapon from Frey. It's like,
the chainsaw.
I know. It's the future chainsaw. And then also mentioned on the episode, eventually Joss Whedon wrote 12 issues of Astonishing X-Men, and that is I had read this run when it first came out. Yeah, that's Cyclops. No, it's not Cyclops, it's Wolverine.
I know, I'm fucking kidding,
dude. No, I was gonna tell you like that's Cyclops' visor behind Wolverine's claws, but no, I think it's just Wolverine's claws fighting.
Yeah.
Might be thinking of a different cover, but yeah, he did. Back in our Matrix episode, we talk about our buddy Grant Morrison and how Grant Morrison had a run on. I think we talked about his run, their run on X-Men. Mm-hmm. The Grant Morrison run on X-Men was aesthetically had a lot of gonna get rid of the costumes, gonna make them look like the movie, where they're just all in leather and they look a little more like modern. Once Morrison was done, they brought Joss Whedon in, and they're like, all right, put them back in the costumes, please. And so all the like Joss Whedon's X-Men are back to colorful uniforms and all that stuff. It's fun stuff. I'm going to reread this. Now that I pulled it out, I'm like, all right, I have to reread it. I didn't own it, and I got it from Corey a couple months ago, shelved it, nice. And now I just have to read it again. Anyway, I feel bad because really what I wanted to do was show the Serenity comic that I have. or maybe I don't have it anymore because I couldn't find it. But it's like really thin, so it might be like lost in between like Spider-Man comics there. Um, but it was a collection for the 3-issue miniseries that handled the. It just there's a loose end from the TV show that doesn't make it to the movie, which is like these scientists with blue hands that are chasing River. And that obviously you've seen the movie. There's no scientists with blue hands in the movie, but this comic book shows them finally catching up to them, and so it ties up that loose end. I was not crazy about it. Like the art was not great, at least I didn't think so. The likenesses were not there, and the story just felt like, I guess after watching the movie, it just didn't feel like I needed that. So when there was another Firefly comic that came out later, I was like, I'm not even gonna bother with it. I'm not gonna get it. So if you've read that second Firefly comic, let us know. Maybe you'll convince me. I'll get it. And if I can't find the one I own, I'm gonna have to get it again, because now it feels like I need to have the complete collection. Now that we've talked about it on the show, but that was show and tell with the Contrarians. Let's move on to the Josh Gad Minute. Alex,
I have no idea for this. I'm gonna have to default to you. I don't want to fuck with like the original cast, and then like so that really only leaves. He's not going to replace Chewie. I mean, it'd be funny if we gave him the Sarah Paulson role, but like, honestly, all that really leaves is the Michael Hitchcock part. Like
that was the thing I thought. That was
okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good role. He gets
some exposition.
Yeah,
and, know, he gets to explain some stuff, and then he gets a really vicious death that lingers. So you get to have Gad doing some Shakespearean, like gargling and shit on the side.
It's an honorable death.
It is.
Yeah. That'll be the easy thing to do. And now, if you want to put Gad on the crew of the Serenity, as a fan of the show, I've said it on the episode, I said it on the After Hours, like I love everybody in the cast, but Josh Gad would probably do all right replacing the Doctor, replacing Simon.
Okay.
Because Simon is kind of a wuss. He doesn't really get to, in the action sequences, he doesn't really. He's a doctor, so he's not an action star. He gets knocked out really quickly.
He's not kicking ass or anything.
No, he does punch Nathan Fillion at the beginning of the movie.
That's right.
He sucker punches him, so I think Gad could do that. But it might be that Simon fans are foaming at the mouth right now, telling me, "How dare you!" So, Firefly fans, if you have a different replacement, if you want Josh Gad to take over a different role, let us know, and we'll make it happen. We'll add it to the letter that we send to Josh Gad every time we do one of these.
Yes,
just like, this is who you are. But Michael Hitchcock, no matter what, you're out. We love you, but Josh Gad needs to fill in that role. So that was the Josh Gad Minute. Alex, let's do some trivia.
We talk about a lot of this in the episode, so we go into like the machinations behind the movie being made, and then also we talk a lot about the sequel. So this section might be a little light just because of how much we go into the weeds in the episode. But of course, we got to hit the typical beats. The Edinburgh International Film Festival is the site. August 22nd of 2005, where this film premiered, went on to a wide release on September 30th of that same year. A budget of $39 million with a box office return of $40 million. We talk about in the episode that didn't really concern Universal, and it didn't crush the hopes of a sequel, but the secondary run, as it were, the physical media release, just didn't quite do what they needed it to. But again, that's all detailed in the episode. The production expected to save money by reusing the Serenity ship interior from the Firefly series, but the set was not available. Instead, the ship was built using DVD images of the television series as a guide. Construction was completed over 14 weeks on the Universal stage lot, 12 by 23 supervised crews working independently but in coordination with one another. Universal was concerned about the extra cost, but were satisfied when it was completed in just 14 weeks. That's pretty intense. You don't even have like reference shots. You just have to do fucking screen caps.
Yeah. I remember reading that decades before Serenity and Firefly, when they were shooting Back to the Future 2, they had to recreate the ending of Back to the Future, the first one, because
Mhm.
obviously when they did the first Back to the Future, they didn't know they were going to do a sequel. Like, it ends with "to be
Halloween Kills?
continued." Huh?
Halloween Kills?
What?
Is it? Yeah, it's Kills, where they recreate the end of the first Halloween.
Do they?
Well,
Oh well, no. I mean,
yeah,
yeah. I guess.
they recreate the night after. You know,
Yeah.
they recap Michael's after party. But yeah.
Yes. That is. I appreciate the effort, but what they
Well, they,
do.
to their credit, they had a fucking just a new dude play Loomis.
Yes, he looked a lot like Loomis. But here in Back to the Future, they have Christopher Lloyd playing Christopher Lloyd and
Mhm.
Michael J. Fox playing Michael J. Fox. Um, and they just basically, because a lot of the crew was still the same crew that had worked on the first Back to the Future, they were all able to remember exactly how they had put the lights and how
Oh,
everything fit together. So they recreated it like from memory, and I guess they were watching the VHS or whatever also. But I remember reading like somebody that was like, oh yeah, one of the lights people, they're like, oh, I remember exactly what filter we used on this light that we put here. Like, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Today you would just let AI figure out. You just have ChatGPT scan like a frame of the movie and then tell you where to put the lights.
Uh, the budget for the film in totality was obviously less than what the TV show was. Like, like for essentially they're making an episode, like 2 episodes here, and so
Right.
the budget for that was, if you did the average of what they got for the show, was less. So because of that, they used practical special effects as much as possible. One more for the good guys. If a computer generated image, CGI, composite was required, as many tangible sets and props as possible were constructed to minimize the use of computer effects.
You're loving this movie more and more.
Yes. The most technically challenging scene was the mule skiff chase. What is that?
That's at the beginning of the movie when they're escaping the bank. They're being
Oh yeah,
chased by the Reavers.
that's the most convoluted shit. Or most not convoluted. What's the word I'm looking for? Most like dynamic sequence in the movie. For budgetary reasons, a gimbal and CGI, much like those used in the pod racing scene in Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace, were quickly ruled out. Instead, the crew fashioned a trailer with a cantilevered arm attached to the hovercraft and shot the scene while riding up Templin Highway north of Santa Clarita. Awesome. Zoic Studios, the company that produced the graphics for the series, had to perform a complete overhaul of their computer model of Serenity, as the television model would not stand up to the higher definition of cinema screens. So, a lot of technical specs for y'all there. We talk about the marketing in the movie, in the episode, the marketing of the film, and also the advanced screenings and markets where the movie tested well. So go listen to that. I guess just to close on a note of it does have a UMD release. So I've told you that thing of, if I win the lottery, I won't tell people. Well, there will be signs, and one of them is I will have every UMD that was ever released.
Yes.
But we talk about the box office in the episode itself again. But to close here, just going back to the critical reception, I was kind of surprised you didn't cite this one, Julio. Our boy Roger Ebert gave it a thumbs up. Him and Roper ended up giving it 2 thumbs up. And Ebert, in his review in the Chicago Sun-Times, gave it 3 out of 4 stars, commenting that it is made of dubious but energetic special effects, breathless velocity, much imagination, some sly verbal wit, and a little political satire. The movie plays like a critique of contemporary society, also stating that in this way it was like Brave New World in 1984.
Wow. Having talked
So
about 1984 very recently.
tying them all together here, man.
Yes. Man,
I don't know about that. this movie didn't leave me like crestfallen like in
That's
1884 did.
this is the happy version. I was about to say I would like to see the crew of the Serenity taking on Big Brother.
Have you ever seen Brave New World?
I haven't, and I haven't read the book either. I know of it because I used to work at Barnes and Noble, and so the book would be there. I think it was part of the reading lists for high schoolers. I mean, I know it's dystopia. And
Yeah.
this, I mean, I go a little bit into it in the episode. One of the reasons I still love this movie, or an extra reason that I've acquired as I've gotten older, and especially in today's America, just the idea that this group of scrappy people decide to just risk everything to do the right thing. So that's, when Nathan Fillion is like, fuck it, I aim to misbehave and I'm going to make sure that the Epstein files are like broadcast everywhere. Like, that's, how can you not fist pump, No. So
I agree.
Anyway.
Stand a little corrected. I thought this was an actual movie, but it was just a made for television movie, the Brave New World adaptation.
But it is based on who is it? Upton?
No. Huxley.
Yeah.
Starring Peter Gallagher. Remember him?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The OC's Peter Gallagher?
One and the same. Yeah, I thought I remembered this being a movie of higher repute, but it is not. I just associate anything Leonard Nimoy's in as like, the top of its field. But yeah, I agree. For as not necessarily motivated to go back and learn the Firefly history page and verse, I agree with you. The Mal character, and specifically like his crew, just like, fuck it, this authoritarian regime can't win. It's like
you've probably already seen Firefly and Serenity. That's why you're watching this video.
Yeah.
But if you haven't rewatched it in a while, give it a shot. It gives you a warm feeling. It's very exciting, even when we lose a character or two that we care about. It's a hell of an experience. So that's it for our Serenity post credits. Coming up next on the main feed, this will not have a video, but we're doing it's the next FERF episode, so it'll be an Immigrants episode. We already recorded it. It's on the Lin-Manuel Miranda musical, In the Heights. In the Heights. So check that out. Be ready for that. And then for the next video that will go with an episode, it's what's it called, Alex? Dogfight? We were just talking about this. It's a Brandon Curtis
Dogfight. Yeah.
Dogfight. We don't know what that is, but that will be our next episode. So
I had it pulled up somewhere in my fucking menagerie of tabs here. Dogfight. It who was it? It was, man, it's on the tip of my tongue here. River Phoenix is in it.
Oh,
Lily Taylor. Yeah.
Do you remember last time we talked about River Phoenix, Alex, on the show?
It was that country music movie that it was for one of our projects.
Yeah, it was a Bogdanovich movie. We did it on Patreon. So if you join Patreon, you can hear us talk about, I think it was his last performance. It was the last River Phoenix movie.
Sandra Bullock was in it, right?
Yes. Sandra Bullock, Samantha Mathis, very young Dermot Mulroney.
That's what it was, yes.
Yeah.
The Thing Called Love.
There you go. Yeah. Anyway, that's already in our past. We've already done that. But Dogfight, it'll be River Phoenix on the main feed. Maybe his debut. Contrarians debut on the main feed. So watch Dogfight. Watch Serenity. There's never a bad time to watch Serenity. If you have the whole thing, watch Firefly as well. It's on Hulu. It's not. For some reason you haven't. And hopefully this and our episode has convinced you to do so. But that's it. Until Dogfight, we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.